Well, good afternoon. I'm Jason Arant, and I'm from Phoenix, Arizona now. And they asked me to share a little bit about my journey here at Winebrenner. And like any good expedition, every journey begins with a thought. And my thought I had 10 years ago in youth ministry is simply this: I don't know what I'm doing. I'd been a part of a fellowship that granted me credentials for taking 33 correspondence courses. And it was a wonderful thing. It's a great foot in the door. But when you sit in a counseling session with some people and they say, yeah, Pastor Jason, we're back here this week because we did what you told us to do last week, that's a very humbling thought. The things I'm saying, the interactions I'm having people are actually listening and they're putting it to practice. Very humbling thought. And so it began this 7-year journey that began for me in 2003 in the MDiv class. And I can remember the first class up in room 254 on the north side of the building up there. And Dr. Sandstrom, who is now Dr. Ebner, was telling us at the very beginning of the ministerial person class that this is a wonderful and noble endeavor. You want to serve the church, you want to serve your family, you want to impact the community. That's all so wonderful, but the question is, are you willing to pay the price that it takes to accomplish these goals? And immediately I thought, well, I think so. I think I'm ready to pay the price. Well, now I can say 7 years later and 2 graduations later, yeah, I guess I was. But you look at all the price tags, I thought I'd list some of them for you this morning. There has been prices along the way. The first is time, and lots of it. I have a 10-year-old, I have an 11-year-old, I have a 6-year-old who they haven't known their father as a non-student their entire lives. They've been competing with Winebrenner for my time and attention for the better part of a decade, for over a decade. And so that's a cost, but it's certainly been well worth it. Money, and lots of it. Endurance, and lots of it. Reflection, which isn't always fun, it's always profitable. Correction, which isn't always fun, but it's always profitable. And the cost to others around me. I've had in-laws who've been hosting and feeding me for the last 18 months when I visited from out of town. And then knowledge, which is its own price, because every man has to bear the burden of his own insights. And so I think, yeah, I got formation also. Formation was a part of the price tag, but it's also part of the benefit to be more like Christ for the sake of others. And I think I could stand here and say, I got a long way to go, but I'm a lot further than I was when I walked in the door. And so it's been very profitable. All the little price tags you could hang on this experience have been well worth it. And you can judge a good investment by its return. Are you getting more out of this than you put into it? And I'd have to say yes. Community impact, opportunities that have come my way, all because I gave myself to the process here and really engaged it. And so it's bittersweet to come to the end of a 7-year journey. But then, of course, I'm getting out more than I put in, and made it a sound investment for me. So I'd like to say thank you to the faculty, the staff, and the board, and to all of you who made this experience here possible for me. Thank you.
I received an email several weeks ago, or months ago now probably, asking if I would be willing to share testimony during the commencement. And the invitation said 5 to 7 minutes. We don't want you to share a lot, just 5 to 7 minutes. A week or so ago, I got another email, and they said, we thank you for being willing to share, and you have 3 to 5 minutes to share. And when I got in this morning, they said, now you have 2 to 3 minutes to share. If we waited to about noon to start, we probably would just blow right on by us altogether and wouldn't have anything to say. I'm hearing so many of my fellow students that found Winebrenner out of a place in their ministry, in their heart, just as I was, where I was serving a conflicted congregation. We were in a horrible situation in our church, and I began to look, knowing that God was going to move me and calling me to some different things. And I got on the internet and was looking for a denomination that we were independent at the time, was looking for a denomination as well as a seminary. And I found on the internet this seminary called Winebrenner Seminary, and I said, who would name a seminary Winebrenner Seminary? It must be an inside joke. I don't really get it. And it was in Findlay. And I thought, I don't even know where Findlay is. And I realized it was in Northwest Ohio. And I thought, who in their right mind would want to live in Northwest Ohio? I'm a hillbilly from Southeast Ohio, and all my ancestors have one leg shorter than the other. I commiserate with my brother in Appalachia serving. And we ended up, 2001 was when we came to this area that God brought us here. And over the last nearly 10 years now, God has just blessed my family, our church. Sorry. I remember being on my knees, a little guy, at the foot of my bed with my mother, praying the rosary, little Catholic kid. And as we were praying, I said, Mom, something's happened in my heart. And I thank God wants me to be a priest. And she said, Joe, that's God's will. You just be faithful to God. And then I read in the Bible that God created male and female, male and female. He created them. And so becoming a priest was out of the question for me. But at the time I recognized that God had a call on my life. I want to say to you, just as I sit down, moms and dads, grandmas and don't underestimate the power of a simple act of kindness, a simple word of grace that you can say to your kids.
My name is Jackie Frisch, and I am honored to stand before you today. I will tell you I'm also exhausted. People don't understand that this is a tedious Turabian process. I am definitely most privileged to stand before you today and introduce my family, my beautiful husband and supporter, my mom and my 14 children. Smile and wave, boys. There they are. They have also earned this degree with me. Most people know me as the Extreme Makeover Mom, but I don't want to be known for my extreme house. I want to be known for the extreme makeover God has done in my heart and in my life. God has done miracles that are beyond comprehension. His definition of extreme makeover goes beyond anything that Hollywood can concoct. And that is why I stand here before you today, to tell you a little bit of my story, so that, as Dr. Fry said, that you could see the glory of the great God that I serve. My story starts with a long, planned-out journey, a journey to obtain my doctorate. And obviously, if I'm a mother of 14, I'm pretty responsible, organized, and timely. So, of course, the plan was detailed down to the exact time that I would begin and end. The course was plotted, and like most journeys, there was obstacles that came along the way. Physical calamities slowed down my pace. Curves in the path got me off course. Mountaintop experiences and the views from that top place rekindled the joy of the journey. That journey led me here. It took me 3 quick years and intense work to begin the research and the writing for the dissertation project. Right on schedule I was. But then life took a turn, and I became very ill and was told that my life is going to be drastically short. 2 strokes followed that, and life became difficult to hold on to. Every day has become a gift from God. I was not able to continue the journey that I had started for my degree. 4 long years passed when I received a call of encouragement. I was encouraged to try to finish the path that I had started, but I had lost much of my ability and much of my memories that would be required to finish such a great project. It would have to be a family endeavor. And the kids and my husband, they agreed to help me every step of the way. In January of this year, I began the process of rewriting and defending my dissertation. God, of course, was amazing, and He gave me the strength. What I had lost in my memory, He allowed me to relearn. When my fingers couldn't work to write or type, my husband's did. When the books were too heavy to put on my lap and turn the pages, my kids sat next to me. When I stuttered and my lips wouldn't work and the words wouldn't come out, my husband was my mouthpiece. Through the patience of the staff here at Winebrenner, through the love of my family and extended family, I stand before you today on another miracle in my life.
Amen.
Because of God and all His glory, I can give Him the thanks today that I have fought the good fight and I have finished this race.